Chapter 11. The Happiest Mouse in Ridgeway, Furrow. Several days went by. Several quiet days, in fact. Harry had enjoyed all the adventures he'd had with his friends. But he was quite relieved to go for a whistle and wander without incident. Harry learned a bit about people time, and he soon realized that Isla came to the willow after dinner, but before it was time to go back for supper. Talking of supper, since he'd become the first creature of Ridgeway Furrow to make friends with a little girl, he'd become quite a star. Every animal wanted to invite Harry and his family for tea, so he could tell the tales of his adventures. Now, Harry was a modest mouse, but he did love telling a story. Harry was just pottering back to the little bridge to meet up with Katy and the children when the silence was broken. Caw! Caw! Harry, I have news. Jerry swooped, skidded, and landed in Harry's paws. Harry laughed at his excited friend. Come back with me. I bet Katy would love to hear about this. Jerry could barely contain his excitement, but soon they were back at Harry's home under the bridge. Caw! Caw! Hurry, hurry, tales to tell, Jerry shouted through the doorway. Katy hurried the little ones outside to see what the commotion was. I think Jerry is about to burst if he has to wait any longer to tell his story, Katy. Harry laughed and turned to the jackdaw, who was hopping from one foot to the other impatiently. I went to school. Isla's school. I went every day and peered through the window. Jackdaws are good at peeping. Then have this thing in the morning that they call assembly. They just all seem to sit in a hall while an adult tells a story. Today I saw a big person, and the photographs were all hanging around the room, and the children were stood in front of them. Then I saw Isla. The big person gave Isla a shiny thing, the shiniest thing I had ever seen, and all the other people cheered. Isla won the photography competition. She won! Hooray! Shouted the mice. All of her friends were hugging her. She had handed out a big piece of paper with a huge first on it. Then 2 other adults and a young boy all hugged Isla and lifted her in the air. That must have been her mum and her dad, and Archie, Harry said. But the best bit, said Jerry, very excited to finish his story, was when she was just about to leave. Isla looked out of the window and saw me. She waved and held her shiny thing and piece of paper in the air. Whoa! If I hurry back to the willow tree, we might be able to see her before tea time, Harry suggested. The little mice didn't take much persuading and scampered off ahead. Harry and Katy sauntered behind holding hands. It couldn't have happened to a nicer girl. I'm so happy for Isla, Katy agreed. She wanted to win something. Harry and Katy were just about to duck under the willow branches when they heard squeals coming from beneath the tree. Daddy! Daddy! Look! Lizzie squealed. Caw! Caw! So handsome, look at me! Jerry cawed in delight. Harry looked up through the willow leaves to see children and Jerry hopping around Isla's feet as she placed something next to the tree trunk. Isla stepped back to reveal the group photograph. He scurried forwards for a closer look. Katy slid up next to him and put her paws in his. Together, they gazed at the picture. Do you like it? Asked Isla. I won, everyone, I won, shouted Isla. And it's all thanks to you. I've never won anything like that before. The competition had been judged by a famous wildlife photographer, and he had told the children that he had never seen such clear pictures of animals, and certainly not a kingfisher. "I imagine he loves the pictures of me too," said Jerry, and everyone laughed. Harry looked at each of the animals in the picture. Jerry proudly stood upon Isla's head. His little ones beamed for the camera, and his and Katie's own smiles matched the ones on Isla's face. "This is for you," said Isla, handing over the photo of the group. "Nothing would make me happier than to know that this photograph will be displayed in Ridgeway, Furrow." Harry looked at his friends and family, then nuzzled Katie's nose with his own, and sighed a happy sigh. Isla sat down with the animals and told them all at length of the competition, and all the animals stayed to listen, sitting around as the light changed from yellow to orange to dark red. Once he had said goodbye to Isla and the light started to fade, they all walked back together. As they passed each of their homes, the group of animals got smaller and smaller. The moonlight lit the last few steps up to Katie and Harry's home. They each carried one of their children who were fast asleep. The light faded over Ridgeway Furrow, and there was electricity in the air. Harry looked at the sleeping children, then looked at Katie and said, "I must be the happiest mouse in all of Ridgeway Furrow." The end.